how you vote. Let's say Lamar Jackson wins this game and he looks like he looked last week against Joe Burrow.
Come on now.
Jeez.
Come on now.
Lamar Jackson has went on a run, and we're clearly looking at Lamar like, dang, Lamar the best player in the league right now. We can watch that on tape.
We can see it.
But why would he be MVP over Patty if Patty's sitting at 5-0 and Patty beat Lamar?
I think it would come down to a couple things. How close is the race? Like for me, at this point in time, I see Lamar Jackson is playing like he's on a different level.
Different.
He's on a different level right now. Now, what we know is, as we look about it, the Chiefs' defense, they never get credit. And I feel bad for them with all due respect. They never get credit. But as we know, the Chiefs' defense, I think, is like number 2 in scoring right now.
Okay.
So what I would look at it as a voter, I'm saying to myself, yo, Patty, they 5-0. You going to 6-0. They killing it.
But it ain't because of him.
It's not exclusively. It's not
that's
exclusively.
what.
When you voted, hold up. Did you vote for Lamar last year?
I voted for Lamar last year.
How'd you grade that?
I graded that because when Lamar played...
No. I'm talking about the team, the defense.
When Lamar played the Niners. That's what it was for me.
That's crazy.
When Lamar played the Niners. The Ravens have the #1 defense in football. Make no mistake about it.
But it's the same thing, though. You say how Patty...
Open up a can of worms.
Yeah,
That's good, though.
Right, but it's saying Patty is 5-0, right? Going on 6-0. And the defense is number 2 in scoring. They're really, really good. You said that. But on the Lamar side, it's like, it's the same thing, correct?
Yes, but remember who the opponent was last year. Josh Allen. Josh Allen had several losses. Right? We're talking about a Patty who has no losses. So Josh Allen had several. The only reason Josh Allen didn't...
Lamar, though.
Lamar last year.
Yes.
Yeah, but Lamar his team was amazing.
And the defense was crazy.
Defense was crazy. But when Lamar had to face the best in the league, then Lamar showed up. If Lamar did not show up like he did against the Niners, I'm telling you right here, right now.
That's why he won MVP.
If he didn't show up like he did against the Niners, I'm telling you right now, Shady McCoy, at least me, I wouldn't have voted.
So when does...
number 1.
So, because you watch a lot of tape, and this is really good insight, when does the stats play a part for you? Because the only reason why I looked crazy last year is the stats were so lopsided with Josh and Lamar.
Yeah.
It's like 45 touchdowns to 26. Like, it was just so lopsided, even though he had a couple more wins than Josh. Because Josh went to the playoffs still, too, and won the division. You know what I mean? So when do the stats
Great
play
question.
a part?
And we talked about this off camera. Honestly, this is a facility conversation.
It really is.
Stats to me...
Josh should have won that.
To me, stats are always secondary because I played the game. To somebody who didn't play the game, I understand they might lead with stats. Shady and I were talking about it. There was a sports person who said that Patrick Mahomes is Daniel Jones just with the better defense.
Who said that? You know he never played. I don't know who it is.
And so you can make... Shady said this, and I'll never forget. He said that his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, said, hey, I can make stats do anything. That's true. I can make stats and numbers do anything. So I don't necessarily care as much about stats as I care about the tape. Yeah. That's why right now the tape for Lamar and the tape for Jaden go crazy. I was up last night. Y'all can see my last tweet before I went to sleep was watching Jaden Daniels' tape. Because I was like, let me see what this is all about. The tape goes crazy.
Stats, like, I'm not big on stats either, though, because you can just make stats up and it looks good. That's why you see people say, oh, this, like the Patrick Mahomes or Daniel Jones is crazy. But I will say about some stats, it's hard to go out there on that turf, on that grass, and do.
Week in and week out.
But think about it like this. Let's go back. Now last night, Garendo, running back for the Niners. I think he finished the game with 99 yards on maybe 11 carries.
Okay.
Shout out to him.
Right.
He went untouched on that 70-yard. Shout out to him, not taking nothing from him. But if you just look at the stats, I think he averaged 8 yards.
Hard to do.
Here's what I'm saying.
Do that.
And I'll say it
scored, too.
I'll say it to you, Shane.
Maybe not an all-pro, but I can't do that.
I'll say it to this. Alfred Morris outgained you in 1 year. And I don't know Alfred's a great human being. Yeah. Alfred's not a better running back than Shady. So I can't just look at stats. I got to turn on tape. Because Alfred Morris had 1,600 yards 1 year, had 1,400 yards 1 year. He had 1,600 as a rookie.
But we're talking one game. We're talking one game, though.
No, season.
But I'm saying, you said Luke
Cadendo,
whatever his name is.
That guy didn't last.
That's one game, though.
It didn't last long. That guy didn't last long.
No, but the crazy thing is, like, what I'm saying is I don't care, me personally, nothing's wrong with those that love stats. Me personally, I don't care as much about stats.
So you're saying good stats and you look good?
Yes. Okay. You got to look good
and you got to win.
Record matters too. You have
exactly right. Exactly right. To me, record
matters.
How you look, record, stats.
I like it.
How you look,
record,
stats. So
that's why Lamar
looked like an MVP last year.
His record was like an MVP.
So you went past the look though, because you said look.
He looked like an MVP
last year.
Yes.
He said against the Niner game. Yes. But what about the whole season? That's what I'm saying though.
He never cost his team. And that matters to me too, right? Like he never, like Josh cost his team. We only in life, and I hate what we do in life oftentimes, we only look at the positives. We forget about the negatives. No. Josh cost his team early on in the season. They should have been 6-6.
But then they win because of him.
No doubt.
Let me ask this real quick. So you're saying how you look. So if Lamar continues to play like he's playing right now, right? He should get an MVP.
No doubt about it.
Unanimous.
So look. So you put Lamar, the way he's playing this year, as an MVP.
Yes.
And last year's MVP, even in the same boat. That's my problem.
Not even close.
So when you
But different seasons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
and he's doing way more.
But I'm saying,
and
like,
the defense ain't as good.
The people he going against, though, is
That's
not
why, 'cause the
balling out of
defense isn't
control.
as
That's
good.
what he says, different years. Like, nobody, remember last year we had the MVP conversation, nobody was running away with it. Yeah. Nobody really had it.
Jax, Purdy, and Lamar.
It was
If we
all
keep it in
in
the 1,000, though, like last year, if you look at all the MVPs in the last 8 years, maybe 10 years, I don't see that as like an MVP year last year for me.
It wasn't. But think about it like this.
I agree.
And I'm a Lamar Jackson fan.
You could do the same thing. Say Josh would have won it last year. Josh's last year pales in comparison to the year he finished second to Aaron Rodgers. Pales in comparison. Because the second to Aaron Rodgers year, he went 13-3, I believe. He had like 4,800 yards, but Rodgers had 48 touchdowns and 5 picks. So you could do the same thing. To me, it's a year-to-year thing. Because Josh could have won it last year. But Josh's last year sucked compared to Josh's 2020.
So you could be the best player in the league and not win MVP because your team ain't that good or your defense ain't that good.
If you were the best player in the league, I believe your team would have been better. Yeah. The Jets, he wouldn't have lost to the Jets. So he would have had another win, and he would have had another. That's just my belief. But that's why you got 50 different voters. Hey, what a conversation.
Hey, how do I get to vote? I'm trying to vote. They need to be on there voting. You are the best players, MVPs, all pros for sure.
You gotta prove you can keep it real in the next block when we talk about the Eagles. Prove you can keep it real talking about the Eagles.
Where that flag at? That's our flag.
When we return, who needs
Through 5 games, Jaden Daniels has a better record last year than C.J. Stroud. He has more passing and rushing touchdowns combined. He has a higher completion percentage, and he has a higher passer rating. And so when you put it in context like that, because I thought C.J. Stroud's season last year was special. It's a yes for me, man.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a tough one.
It is.
I'm gonna say no. Right? I'm gonna say no.
Okay,
and real
I'm
quick,
listening to you.
me and Acho talked to these rookies at the rookie symposium, right? This kid right here, Jaden, jumped out of me like everybody. Great personality, smart, asked a lot of questions. He actually is my favorite to win the Rookie of the Year for sure. This is before the season started, so I love his game. But I gotta go with Patrick Mahomes. I watched Lamar Jackson last year win an MVP. Was he playing the best as the quarterback?
No, he wasn't.
What did he do, James?
Team record.
And they won. And the last thing is they were the 1 seed, and I look at Patrick Mahomes, every year he finds ways to win. There's not a defense in this league that prepares more than any other quarterback, than Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, right? We can talk about Jaden Daniels, we can talk about Lamar Jackson, all these other quarterbacks, Josh Allen's. Every team in the league, they copycat the Chiefs. How can we stop them? In the AFC, how can we beat them? So as I look at the Chiefs, the number 1 receiver's hurt, the number 2 receiver's hurt, right? They still winning, they still find a way. Kelsey's older, he's slowing down, they still find ways to win. So I'm going with Patrick Mahomes, but even though Jaden Daniels is super balling right now and I love his game, I gotta go with Patrick.
If Jaden Daniels beats Lamar, he's a front runner. I look at it with history. As an MVP voter last year, the final 3 MVP candidates were Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, Lamar Jackson. Remember that. Brock Purdy beat Dak Prescott handedly, 4 touchdowns, 252 yards, no picks. Dak Prescott, 152 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. So instantly, we had to move Dak Prescott beneath Brock Purdy, albeit it was earlier in the season. That would not be forgotten from MVP voters like myself's minds. Remember, it came down to Brock Purdy, Lamar Jackson. Tyreek Hill got hurt, if y'all recall, so he left the race. It was those 2 players week 16. Brock Purdy, 4 interceptions. Atrocious performance. Lamar Jackson, 300 total yards, 2 total touchdowns. And in week 16 is when Lamar Jackson won MVP. It's not when he put on the suit and came out here to California for the NFL honors and he stood on stage. That's not when he won MVP. Lamar won MVP when he beat Brock Purdy. If Jaden Daniels can beat Lamar Jackson, the current frontrunner for MVP, he will instantly supplant Lamar Jackson as the frontrunner for MVP. I'm not saying that based upon my own hypothesis. I'm saying that based upon the history of the MVP award, at least the most recent in last year. The final MVP ballots, it was simple. Lamar won because Lamar beat Brock. Brock ahead of Dak, not in the final ballot, but Brock ahead of Dak after Brock beat Dak. So if Jaden beats Lamar, we know based upon the equation of last year,
I just
Jaden
want to ask you one question, Lamar, because you are an MVP voter, right? That's a good honor to have. What are the criteria for MVP? Since you saw